We say they're sort of priced for recession. When you look at, we have a number of different small cap ETFs at WisdomTree. We tend to have a value bias to them. So if you look at an example, our EES, which is a small cap earnings weighted, it's selling around 12 times earnings, which is very different than sort of large cap tech in the mid 20s and even approaching 30s in some segments there. And so you could get a pretty reasonable price. We think, 8% earnings yields, that really is forecasting a big slowdown. And so if the economy actually holds in or doesn't have as deep of a recession, we don't think you're going to get a recession. But if it holds in, 12 times earnings is a pretty reasonable place to be, and small caps could be, one of those participants in a better than feared scenario next year.
So then the flip side of that, going back to the mega cap tech stocks, it's been the AI frenzy this year.
Yeah.
Might 2024 be the sort of coming back down to earth moment for them?
When I look at that, I think some people say we're back at like 2000 levels for tech. And, certainly the outperformance of the NASDAQ is like that. When I look at the overall valuations, I see tech only around half the PE ratios that we had in 2000, and their earnings growth has been, real. So I think, I do think that there is some justifiable what's happening in the earnings segments of that. So I don't think it's some massive bubble like you had in 2000. Now you say one of the sectors that is tied to this AI that hasn't participated. When I look at all of our thematics, we have a number of sector strategies. Our worst performing has been biotech related, and some of the readings I'm seeing on where technology is going to help the most is actually in biotech. They are very reliant on big data, and some of the discoveries that are coming out of that segment, I think, are particularly interesting and to benefit from this AI transformation. And so you say one of the things that hasn't participated is this what we call the biorevolution stocks. And I think that could be a place to look for next year of who could benefit from all the advances in AI.
Yeah, and look at those some of those dislocations that AI is throwing up as well. Jeremy, staying with that topic, the leadership upheaval at OpenAI, have you got a view on that? Does that represent something of a fork in the road, perhaps, in terms of future developments, or is this just a good old-fashioned power struggle with the board versus investors?
I've been following that news on Twitter all weekend like everybody else. It's sort of quite interesting what's happening. It's hard to say exactly what's happening. I know, we are very excited about that technology, and I know a lot of people using it extensively. It's hopefully Sam comes back and you can continue to see that company go forward. I think it's very telling how quickly they reverse decisions. It seems like that, important to a lot of the people there. That's the issue with technologies. If you have just a lot of smart people, they can all leave. It's not like there's a big investment in other things that are hard to take with them. So I think the technology, the people are very important. People wanting to leave with Sam and coming back, I think it's probably the right move for them.